Good morning! I hope everyone is having a great start to this week. Tomorrow is one of my favorite holidays. Can anyone guess what it is? Earth Day! Woo woo! I cannot wait to see your all's recycling projects. So tomorrow you guys will have a reading video, and I'm going to read one of my favorite books in spirit of Earth Day. So anyway, get back to math. Today we're going to learn about bar graphs. Because last week we talked about picture graphs, and if you remember, a picture graph uses pictures to present the data, and data is the things that we collect, the information that we collect on things that we wanted to test. So today we're going to learn about bar graphs, and bar graphs are a graph that use bars, hence bar graphs, to show information. So we are going to do a little problem solving today. So I'm going to show you this problem, and we're going to count up all the data, all of the items on the table, and then we're going to graph it. And this will be our example, and then I'll give you a problem that you can do at home. Okay? All right, so here's our problem. It says, Dan keeps track of all the food he sells at the game. He sells everything on the table. Make a bar graph to show the food Dan sells. So right now, I have drawn a picture of the food that Dan sells. So he's got hot dogs. Yes, these are hot dogs, I promise. They just are orange. And then we've got nachos. I used a highlighter. I'm sorry that I used that. And then we have pizza, okay? So I'm gonna get it a little closer. So we have hot dogs, nachos, and pizza. And if you want to right now, he sells everything on the table. That's what our problem said. So go ahead and count up how much of each item he sold. That's gonna be your data that you've collected. And then we'll flip the paper and I'll show you the graph that we would use. All right, so let's use the graph. Let's have a graph. So this is a bar graph, and you can tell because the bar graph is using bars. And sometimes in a bar graph, they might go like side to side, or they might go up and down. So today this one's gonna go side to side. We have the title at the top and our labels. Our labels are telling us what we were graphing and what items and how we were graphing it, right? So on this side, it says kinds of food. So those were the kinds of food that Dan had at the game. We have our title that says food sold at games. And then we have number of food items sold. So for each item, we graphed it. So if we were to look back at the picture, and you've already got your data right there in front of you, you should have counted that there were 3 slices of pizza. So on our graph, I went ahead and colored 1, 2, 3, and it stops at the 3. Can you see that? So for hot dogs, you should have counted 5. And so I graphed it already, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see the 5 right there. So it stops at 5. The bar stops at 5 because there were 5 hot dogs that he sold. So for nachos, you should have counted 4. And so I went ahead and colored in to the 4 because there were 4 nachos. And we can always go back and check. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 nachos, 1, 2, 3 pieces of pizza, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hot dogs. And in the data, the prompt up here, it says that he sold all the food on the table. All right, so let's go back to the graph. Okay, so it says, question 1 says, what does your graph show about the food Dan sold? So what does it show? Well, we can just look at the graph and we can see that how many items did he sell? Well, we can count that up, right? We can say he had 5 hot dogs plus 4 nachos. What is 5 plus 4? 9. And then we can add the pizza, and there were 3 pieces of pizza. So we can have 9, 10, 11, 12. So the graph is showing us how much food Dan sold. He sold 12 things of food. It also shows us what types of food he sold. He sold pizza, hot dogs, and nachos. And it shows us what he sold the most of. And what was it? Hot dogs. So down here at the bottom, the second question says, how does the graph show that? Well, we can just look and see which bar has the most. right? Which one's the longer bar? And we know it's hot dogs. So the graph is visually showing us the data. And so we don't have to really pay attention to the numbers. We can automatically see that hot dogs were the most popular item, right? And the least popular would be pizza. Okay, so now here is an essential question that I want you guys to answer. It says, how does a bar graph help you compare information? So how does that help us compare information based on our data that we've collected, or like what Dan had with the food? All right, and so here is a problem of the day, and I hope you guys have fun with this one. It says, write the names of 5 friends. So go ahead, pause the video, think of 5 people that you are friends with. All right, and then afterwards, you're gonna count how many letters are in each name. So if I had a friend named Ava, Ava has 1, 2, 3 letters, A, V, A. So she has 3 letters. So beside her name, I'm gonna write 3 letters. And you would do that for all 5 of your friends. The second thing says, make a bar graph of the information. So the information that you just had, you had 5 friends and then you counted each letter in their names. Show how many names have different numbers of letters. So here is the graph that I would like for you to use, and your parents or whoever can draw this for you. And then you're gonna plug in all your information. So it says the top, we've got our title, because all graphs have to have a title, right? It says the number of letters in our name. All right, our bar graphs also have labels. They have a label here and a label down here to tell us what exactly is what the graph is showing us. So right here it says number of letters, and I have the number of letters starting with 2 letters, 3 letters, 4 letters, 5 letters, 6 letters, 7 letters, and 8 and more. And then down here at the bottom I have the number of children. So with your friends, your 5 friends that you have, let's say that, let me get a different color, that because one of my friends' name is Ava, I'm going to color in the 3 because she's one friend that I have. Let's say I have another friend named Maya, and Maya is M-A-Y-A. So how many letters are in the name Maya? 4, but that's just one person. So I'm gonna go ahead and color that one in. What if I had a friend named Matt? Well, let's count. 1, M-A-T-T. That one also has 4 letters. So that's 2 people that have 4 letters in their names. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in the next box. So now I'm showing that I have 2 friends that have 4 letters in their name, and 1 friend that has 3 letters in their name. Okay, so that's how you're gonna graph your information, okay? Down here at the bottom it says how many letters are in most names. So how many letters, based on my graph, are in most names? Well, since I only graphed 3 people, I'm showing that there are 4 letters in the names of my friends. So the more people have 4 letters in their name. And at the bottom, it says, how would the graph change if you added your name? And then I want you to explain. So if I added my name, E-M-I-L-I, I have 5 fingers up, so I'm gonna color in 1. So how did my graph change? I want you to do the same thing with your friends. Make sure you count their letters, and then see how many letters are in most of their names, okay? And then send me a picture of your graph, so I'll get it up really up close with the information, and you can pause the video and draw your graphs, and then graph your data, okay? Bye.